Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Heather with Creativity by Heather BE. I hope that you are all staying safe and healthy with your families. Today I have a fun, quick card using the new Trinity Stamps release, Dust Bunnies. This set just called out to me when I saw it. I was so just enthralled with it. It is so cute. These little bunnies, little dust bunnies, are just adorable, and you'll see you get several of the little bunnies in the set, plus you get this adorable little bed. You get some great sentiments that come along with it, and I love these little pudgy bunnies. I just think they're so cute and so adorable. You also get some little dusters that have little faces on them, just so cute. So when I saw this set, I loved the bed, but I decided what I wanted to do was to actually create my own little dustpan. And I am not an artist at all, and I was not sure how this was going to come out. And honestly, I kind of surprised myself and my children as well. So what I did is I just Googled and looked up clip art, and then I drew out a dustpan. The challenge was to make it big enough for one of the bunnies to fit in. So I decided that I wanted to do the little bunny that looked like he was almost walking out of the dustpan. I originally was going to do the little bunny that's laying on her side, but I thought this one would be really cute with it kind of walking out. So what I'm going to do is stamp out the bunny, and this is a piece of Simon Hurley Create white cardstock, and I'm going to stamp it out with Gina K Amalgam black ink. This is a Copic friendly ink because I am going to be doing some Copic coloring. For the dustpan, what I did is I drew it out, and then I have a scan and cut. So I put it in the scan and cut, and then I went back over it with BG10 and BG15 to color it, and then I just took my black Copic and went around it for the outline. For the little bunny here, I'm just doing some very simple Copic coloring. I'm going to be using some grays and then the R20 for his little nose and cheeks. And so I'm going to start out with C1, and then I'm going to be using C3 and some C5. So I'm not really doing a whole lot of shading. One of the things I like about these little bunnies is it's dust. It's piles of little dust. So you could do them a dark gray, you could do them, a lighter gray. You could even kind of go around them almost like they're just kind of white. There's so many different things. You could even do them in different colors if you wanted to. This set is so imaginative. I just loved it. And this little guy with his little like shoes almost, and the curly cues and stuff, I just thought was so cute. And the bed that comes with the set, there's so many fun things you could do with that as well. I've seen a lot of the slimline cards where people have used the bed. It kind of gives you a lot more room to kind of create that scene and build that scene, which is so much fun. So I'm just going in and, like I said, just doing some quick Copic coloring. I am not a master Copic colorer. If you've been to my channel, you know this. So I'm just going through, I do tend to always lay down my lightest color first, which would in this case would be the C1. That just seems to be the easiest for me. I do know that some people will lay the shadows down and then go back in with their medium to light and then work back out. For me, it's just always been easiest to lay down all of the lighter color, get my paper saturated, and then go back in and do my darkers and my blending. So I'm going in now with the C5, and I'm just adding in those darker areas, such as on his little shoes, up on the ears. And I will tell you, this is a great set if you kind of struggle with shadowing, or you're new to doing Copic coloring or working with alcohol markers, because the artist did a really good job of even leaving in and drawing in some of the shadows, so that really helps to kind of be able to follow along. So this will be a great set to start out with if you're kind of new or just learning Copic coloring. So I'm going back in one more time here with my C1, and I am going to take this and cut it out in my scan and cut. There are coordinating dies, and as always, I have all of the items that I used in this video listed below. I also have them over on my blog post as well, which is listed down below. So once I get this cut out, I decided that I wanted to do a circle card. I had not made a circle card in a long time, and I thought this would be a really cute, just small circle card. So I'm going to cut him out, and then for the circle, I cut out 2 of the circles from the Brutus Monroe foundation dies. So once I get those cut out, I'm going to take the top one, and there you can see how he kind of fits down into the little dustpan. I'm going to take the top one, and I wanted to definitely do a background, and if I had artistic ability, I would have drew like a floor and walls and all that stuff. Yeah, not me. We're lucky we got the dustpan here. So, but I did want some type of background, but I also didn't want it to take away from the bunny and the little dustpan. So I decided to just kind of do the colors to show the variation where the floor and the wall would be. So I'm using Distress Oxide Antique Linen for the bottom, and then I'm going to take Lilac for the top and use that, both Distress Oxides. And I'm using the Nuvo blender brushes here. These are something I recently purchased. I had the life-changing brushes, which I love, but I like these Nuvo ones because they do have the white bristles, which a lot of the brushes that have come out now do. And these are pretty comparable to the life-changing blending brushes, any of the other ones as well. So I'm just going through and adding some of that lilac color in. And I decided that I wanted to give it a little bit more texture. I didn't want it to just be so flat. So I'm going to take some of the Stardust, liquid Stardust from Fawn. I believe it came out last summer with that release. And I'm going to put a little bit of that on an acrylic block. And you can see it's been sitting in my drawer for a while, so I just had to shake it up really well. And I'm just going to put a small amount of that on an acrylic block, and then I'm going to add some water to it, just to water it down a little bit. And then I'm going to take a paintbrush and just flick it right off onto what would be the walls. And I used just a piece of scrap paper to cover up the floor, because I didn't want the sparkles on the floor, I just wanted it up on the walls. So I'm just going through and kind of flicking that off, and the further you pull away, you move your acrylic block or whatever you're using away, the smaller the splatters are going to be. So I'm going to hit that with my heat tool because I wasn't quite sure at this point if I wanted to heat emboss the sentiment on or if I was just going to stamp it. I do end up just stamping it on with VersaFine black ink, but I wanted to make sure that the Stardust and also the Oxide inks were dry. So I'm going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of shimmer to my dustpan and also to the bunny. And when I'm doing small areas, I like this Lawn Fawn glitter pen because it's got a fine point. I also love my Nuvo shimmer pen, but this one is great for when you're doing specific areas and you want that fine kind of bullet point. So I pulled back out the stamp set to kind of decide which sentiment I want to use, and I thought the Dust for You was just perfect because we've got our little dust bunny in the dustpan, and I thought that would just be great. And because this is a small circle card, I thought this would be wonderful to put on a package, almost like a gift tag type thing, and I am going to add a circle to the back of it, which I'll show you here in a moment, but I could have just left it with just this front and then wrote my message on the back if I decided to do it as a gift tag. So I'm going to just kind of getting my placement so I know where to put my Dust for You. And I love the font on this. The Dust is opened and then you've got this really pretty cursive for the For You. Just going to put that up in the corner. And then I'm going to use just some tape runner to adhere down my little dustpan. And I did go back and forth on whether I wanted to put the little bunny on an action wobbler or not. I had some small ones, and I actually even put it behind it just to kind of see what it would look like, and I decided that I wanted to use foam tape instead. So I am going to pop the bunny up, give him some dimension with some foam tape. Once I get my little dustpan down. And I will tell you, this stamp set is so cute, but the entire Trinity release that they just released last week, I believe, they have some fabulous stamp sets in there. I also did get a slimline set, die set, that I'll be using in a video very soon. So I encourage you to check out all of the release. And like I said, I've got that link down below as well, and also over on my blog. So I'm just using my foam tape, and this is 3M foam tape, and I'm going to pop that little bunny up. So the only thing left to do is to turn it into an actual card, and to do that I just die cut another circle, and I used my scoreboard, and I just scored it down maybe about a 1/2 inch, and then used my Teflon bone folder and just made sure that score line was reinforced, added some Lawn Fawn liquid glue, and I'm just going to attach that to the back, and that's the card. This card was so fun. I had not made a circle card in a while, and it was really fun to go back through and create this, and just had so much fun with these little dust bunnies. I highly encourage you to check out this set. It is just so cute. There's so many things you can do with a lot of the release that Trinity just came out with. So I'm so glad that you stopped by. I'm sorry, you can see I'm just making sure that that's staying put. I do hope that everybody is staying healthy and crafting as much as they can. I know these are some trying times, and I know this has kind of been something that's been a saving thing for me to sit down at my desk and craft, and I hope that you're doing that in whatever form you like to craft. So thank you so much for joining me. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell for future. Thank you, and have a great day.